If he misses you, he'll slip up and do this when somebody truly misses you. You don't have to chase them. You don't have to beg for their time. You don't have to lose yourself trying to get them to notice you. Because when that pull on their heart gets too heavy, when those quiet moments get too loud, they'll slip up and show it. They'll do things without realizing it. They'll reveal what's really inside. Today, let's talk about the signs. The things you'll see. The ways a man who truly misses you will give himself away. Without even trying. He'll reach out when you least expect it. When a man really misses you, he can pretend all day that he's strong. He can act like nothing's wrong. But late at night, when the silence creeps in, that's when his heart betrays him. That's when that phone in his hand starts to feel heavy. That's when he starts scrolling through old pictures, old conversations, and before he even realizes it, he's sending that text. It won't always be some grand speech. Sometimes it's just a simple hey. Sometimes it's just what's up. But don't get it twisted. That's not just a message. That's him slipping. That's his pride cracking. That's him letting you know that you're still living in his head, rent-free. The beauty of it is you don't have to force it. You don't have to chase it. You don't have to lower yourself just to get his attention. Because when somebody really misses you, life itself will push them back toward you. Their own emotions will pull them in your direction. Think about it. When you're heavy on somebody's mind, they can't carry that weight forever. Eventually, it spills out. Eventually, they reach for you. That's why the unexpected text is so powerful. It wasn't planned. It wasn't rehearsed. It came straight from the heart. And here's the truth. People don't slip up for just anybody. They don't break their patterns. They don't humble themselves. They don't pick up the phone for just anyone. When they miss you enough to reach out, it means you had an impact. You weren't just a chapter. You were the highlight of the story. Missing you becomes louder than their pride. Missing you becomes stronger than their ego. Missing you breaks through all the excuses they told themselves. That's why when he finally calls or texts, it feels so real. Because it is. That message at 2 a.m., that random call on a Tuesday, that I just wanted to hear your voice, that's not just communication. That's confession. That's him admitting, without saying it directly, that the distance has been too heavy for him to carry. And let's be real, you'll know the difference between someone who's just bored and someone who really misses you. When they miss you for real, their words carry weight. Their voice sounds different. Their energy feels familiar, like it never left. You'll hear it in the way he lingers on the call. You'll see it in how he keeps the conversation going, even over nothing. That's what happens when missing you takes over suddenly. Even small talk feels meaningful. And the crazy part, he might not even understand why he's doing it. He'll tell himself it's just checking in. But deep down, it's because his heart couldn't stay silent anymore. That's why patience is so important. You don't chase what's already on its way. You don't beg for something that's already circling back. Because when it's real, they will come back around, even if it's just to say your name. And when they do, don't be surprised, don't be shocked. Understand that you had an effect on them that distance couldn't erase. You touched a place in their spirit that time couldn't heal. Some people think missing someone is just about loneliness. But no, missing someone is about connection. When he reaches out, it's because he feels that bond even when you're apart. That bond is what makes him slip. And that slip-up isn't weakness. It's truth. It's evidence that love, care, or connection doesn't just vanish. It might get quiet, but it doesn't disappear. It waits, it lingers, and then one day it forces its way out. So don't overlook it. Don't dismiss it. That message or that call is more than it seems. It's the universe showing you that no matter how hard he tried to resist, missing you became too loud to ignore. He'll ask about little things that don't matter to most people when a man misses you. It shows up in the smallest details. It's not just about the big questions like, how have you been? Or what are you doing with your life now? It's the little things. He'll remember that random story you told him months ago. He'll bring up your favorite snack, your favorite song, or the way you liked your coffee. That's the thing about missing someone. You start replaying the small moments in your head. You don't just miss the major events, you miss the ordinary pieces of them. You miss the way they laughed at something silly, the way they talked about their dreams, the way they lit up about something as simple as a TV show. So when he's asking you about those little things, that's him saying he's been thinking. That's him admitting that your presence wasn't just big moments. It was the small ones too. And those small ones hit the hardest when they're gone. It's easy to fake big talk. It's easy to ask the general questions that don't carry much weight. But it's hard to fake memory. It's hard to pretend like you remembered something you didn't really value. That's why details matter. Because details prove he was paying attention. When he slips up and asks, "Do you still go to that coffee spot you loved?" Or did you ever finish that book you were reading? That's not just conversation, that's care. That's him letting you know, "I didn't forget you." And let's be honest, men don't hold on to everything. Most of them don't remember half the stuff that passes through their day. But when he misses you, his mind keeps circling back to what made you unique. He'll cling to those memories like anchors. And sometimes those little questions are really big questions in disguise. Asking if you're still into something is really asking, "Are you still the same person I knew?" Asking about your day life is really asking, "Is there still space for me in it?" See, missing you makes him want to close the gap. But pride won't always let him say, "I want you back." So instead, he dances around it. He asks about the things that connect to you, hoping the door cracks open just a little wider. And it's not just curiosity, it's longing. Longing for the conversations you used to have. Longing for the comfort of knowing your habits, your thoughts, your little quirks. That longing makes him ask things he wouldn't ask if you were just anybody. Don't mistake it for small talk. Small talk is empty. Small talk doesn't carry history. But when a man misses you, those small questions come with a heartbeat. They're loaded with memory, with affection, with a hint of vulnerability. He might even surprise himself. He might ask you about something random and then realize, "Why did I even remember that?" But the truth is, missing you dug it out of him. He's holding on to anything that makes him feel connected to you again. Pay attention to those questions, because they tell you where his heart still lingers. If he's asking about your happiness, your growth, your peace, that's not surface, that's soul. That's him reaching for you without saying the words directly. And sometimes he'll bring up those details because he wants to see your reaction. He wants to know if you light up the way you used to. He wants to feel, even for a second, that spark he's been missing. That's the beauty of missing someone. It humbles you. It makes you remember what you thought you could forget. It makes you value things you didn't fully appreciate before. So when he's asking those little questions, don't underestimate them. They're not just words. They're windows into his thoughts. And those thoughts are saying louder than his mouth ever could, "I still miss you." He'll show up in places you didn't think he would be when a man misses you. Sometimes he won't have the courage to say it directly. His pride might stop him from sending that message. His ego might stop him from dialing your number. But missing you will drive him to show up. Suddenly, you'll notice him in places you didn't expect. You walk into a spot you love, and there he is. You attend an event, and suddenly he happens to be there too. Now, some people will call it coincidence, but when a man really misses you, he will position himself where he thinks he might see you. That's what missing someone does. It makes you crave proximity. You don't even need the conversation. You just need the sight, the chance, the closeness. For him, being in the same room feels like a victory. He'll tell himself, "I'm just going out, I'm just living life." But deep down, he's hoping to catch a glimpse of you. He's hoping for that eye contact, that accidental brush of shoulders, that moment where he feels connected again. And here's the part people don't understand. Men don't waste their time showing up where they don't care. If he didn't miss you, he wouldn't go out of his way. Missing you creates movement. It makes him take steps he normally wouldn't take. That's why when he's showing up in places that tie back to you, it's not random. It's intentional. He might play it off cool, act like it doesn't matter, but inside, that's his way of saying, I couldn't stay away. Think about how powerful that is. Pride will let him avoid calling. Ego will let him pretend he doesn't care. But missing you breaks those walls down in quiet ways. It pushes him into spaces his pride would have kept him out of. And sometimes it won't even be a physical place. It might be online. Suddenly he's watching your stories. Suddenly he's liking old posts. Suddenly he's commenting where he never used to. Showing up isn't always about location. It's about presence. Because missing you is restless, it doesn't sit still. It makes him move closer, even if it's subtle. It makes him cross boundaries he thought he'd never cross again. That's the pull of connection, and don't underestimate it. Showing up speaks louder than words. Words can be faked, but presence can't. You can't fake being there. You can't fake putting yourself in somebody's path. That's action, and action reveals truth. Sometimes he'll show up just to test himself, to see if being around you still makes his chest tighten, to see if that spark is still alive. But whether he admits it or not, showing up means he's still tethered to you. Missing you pulls him out of his comfort zone. It makes him risk the awkwardness, risk the questions, risk looking obvious. That's not weakness. It's desperation for closeness. That's the real truth hidden behind his presence. And here's the funny thing. He might act surprised to see you. He might say, "Oh, I didn't know you'd be here." But you'll know. You'll see it in his eyes, in his timing, in the way he lingers. That wasn't accident. That was intention. Because when a man misses you, his heart doesn't want space, it wants nearness. It wants to close the gap, even if it's only for a moment. That's why he slips up and appears where you are. His heart is leading him even when his pride is holding him back. So don't ignore it. Don't brush it off as luck. When he keeps showing up where you are, that's his soul confessing what his mouth won't say. I still feel you. I still miss you. His pride will slip. Pride is one of the hardest things for a man to let go of. It keeps him from admitting when he's wrong, from showing his vulnerability, from saying the words his heart is screaming. But when he really misses you, that pride will start to crack. He may have walked away with his head high, telling himself he didn't care. He may have convinced himself that he was fine without you. But missing you has a way of breaking down those walls. It humbles even the strongest, the most stubborn man. That's why you'll see him do things he swore he'd never do. He'll reach out first. He'll double text. He'll admit he was thinking about you. He'll slip up and reveal that pride isn't as powerful as the ache he's carrying inside. Pride is loud, but missing you is louder. Pride tells him to stay silent, but missing you makes silence unbearable. That's when he gives in. That's when he lets his guard down and does what he once said he wouldn't. You'll notice it in the way his tone softens. You'll see it in how he approaches you differently. He won't come in with the same arrogance, because missing you has reminded him. You mattered more than his ego. Pride can block love, but it can't erase it. Missing you forces him to confront the truth he tried to bury under pride. That truth is, he still cares. That truth is, letting you go didn't erase the connection. And sometimes, it's not even about words. Sometimes pride slips in action. He'll show up vulnerable in ways he never allowed himself before. He'll ask for your help. He'll admit he's struggling. He'll lean on you when before he would have pretended everything was fine. That's the power of missing someone. It exposes the cracks in pride. It takes away the shield. It makes him realize that protecting his ego cost him too much. When his pride slips, You'll hear phrases you never expected to hear. I was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. I miss you. Simple words, but heavy ones. Words pride would never let him say until missing you left him no choice. Understand, for a man, letting pride go is huge. It means he's crossed his own barriers. It means the weight of being without you outweighed the comfort of pretending he didn't care. That's how you know missing you isn't surface level. It's deep. It's real. Because pride is the last thing to fall. If his pride slipped, it means his heart has been wrestling for too long. Don't mistake it for weakness. It takes strength to admit when you're vulnerable. It takes courage to reach out when you don't know how you'll be received. That slip-up is proof of how strong the pull of missing you really is. And here's the thing. Once pride slips, there's no going back. He can't act like he doesn't care anymore. He can't hide behind that wall once he's let you see through it. That's why that moment is so important. It's in that moment you see the truth. Not the mask, not the ego, not the act, but the truth. The truth is, missing you is too much for him to carry in silence. And no matter how much he tries to recover that pride, you'll always know. He slipped. He revealed himself. He showed you that you mean more than his ego ever did. He'll get jealous without admitting it. Jealousy is one of those emotions men don't like to confess. It makes them feel weak. It makes them feel exposed. It makes them feel like they've lost control. But when a man misses you, jealousy creeps in whether he admits it or not. He may never come out and say, "I'm jealous." But you'll notice the shift in his tone, the way he asks certain questions, the way his energy changes when another man's name comes up. That's missing you spilling out sideways. It's not just about possession. It's about fear. Fear that somebody else is giving you the attention he once had. Fear that someone else is holding the space in your heart that used to belong to him. That fear turns into subtle jealousy. He might try to play it cool. He'll laugh it off. He'll act like he doesn't care, but his words will tell on him. "So who's that? You've been hanging out with him a lot. Oh, you didn't tell me about this person." Those aren't casual questions. Those are jealous questions, and it doesn't always show up in conversation. Sometimes it's in his actions. He'll suddenly post more, trying to remind you, and maybe remind himself, that he's still valuable. He'll start showing off what he's doing, hoping you'll see it. Jealousy makes him compete with ghosts. Even if he doesn't know who's in your life, the thought of someone else being there bothers him. That's missing you expressing itself in insecurity, and you'll see it in his eyes. The way he pauses when you mention another man. The way his smile doesn't quite reach his face. The way he changes the subject, but can't hide the tension. That's jealousy leaking through his mask. Men are taught to hide it. They don't want to give you the satisfaction of knowing you still affect them. But when he misses you, control slips. No matter how hard he tries, jealousy will surface. Because missing you isn't just about longing. It's about realizing what he lost. It's about picturing you laughing with somebody else the way you used to laugh with him. And that thought stings. That sting is what makes him jealous. He might even start comparing himself. He'll ask little things like, "Does he do this for you?" Or "Is he like me?" He might not say it outright, but the comparison game is jealousy in disguise. And here's the truth. Jealousy is proof that he still cares. If he didn't, he wouldn't care who you were with, who you were talking to, or who was giving you attention. That slip-up shows you. You're still on his mind. Sometimes jealousy even drives him closer. It makes him step up in ways he wasn't before. Missing you mixed with jealousy makes him realize he can't sit on the sidelines. He has to act, because the thought of losing you completely is too much. And though he'll deny it, the signs don't lie. His questions, his energy, his reactions, they all point to the truth. He's missing you, and it bothers him that somebody else might have your time. Jealousy doesn't always come from anger. Sometimes it comes from regret. Regret that he didn't value you enough when he had you. Regret that now someone else might be appreciating what he overlooked. So pay attention to the subtle shifts. He may never say the words out loud, but his jealousy is the confession he can't hide. It's proof that missing you still grips his heart, tighter than his pride can control. He'll bring up old memories when a man truly misses you. His mind doesn't just wander to the present, it drifts back to the past. Suddenly, old memories feel brand new again. He'll start bringing up those moments you thought he forgot, because missing you forces him to relive them. He might say, "Remember that time we," and it'll catch you off guard. Because while you were moving on, he was sitting with those flashbacks, holding on to pieces of what you shared. That's how missing someone works. It makes yesterday feel like today. The human heart is funny like that. It doesn't replay the arguments, the silence, or the endings. It replays the laughter, the inside jokes, the moments of peace. When he misses you, the good memories echo louder than the bad ones. He'll start talking about that trip you took, that movie you watched together, that random night when everything felt light and easy. It may seem small to you, but to him, it's proof he hasn't been able to shake those moments. Memory is powerful. It's the bridge that keeps him connected to you when he can't be near you. That's why he slips up and brings them into conversation. He's not just remembering, he's reaching. Reaching for a feeling he hasn't been able to replace. And here's the truth. People don't reminisce about times that didn't matter. When he's bringing up the past, it means it left an imprint. It means those moments stuck with him in ways even he didn't expect. Sometimes he'll disguise it as casual, "That was funny, wasn't it?" or "I still laugh when I think about that day." But behind that light-hearted tone is something heavy, longing for the connection that created those memories. And you'll notice it's not random. He won't just bring up anything. He'll choose the moments that felt most alive, most intimate, most meaningful, because those are the ones his heart keeps revisiting. That's what missing someone does. It sharpens the memory. It makes every little detail stand out. The way you smiled, the way you spoke, the way you made him feel. He may not have cherished it enough then, but now he's replaying it on loop. The past becomes his present comfort. Talking about it gives him a taste of what he's been craving. That's why he slips and says, "I miss those days." It's not just nostalgia, it's confession. And sometimes it's not even about the event itself. It's about who he was when he was with you. He misses how you made him better, how you brought out sides of him nobody else could. The memory isn't just about the moment. It's about the version of himself he had with you. That's why he'll keep circling back. That's why conversations with him start to sound like echoes of your past. Because missing you won't let him move forward without looking back. It's his way of saying, "I still feel connected to you." Even if he can't say the words outright, bringing up old memories is his safe way of reminding you, and reminding himself, that what you had wasn't ordinary, and make no mistake, he doesn't do that with everybody. He doesn't walk around reminding every person from his past about the times they shared. He does it with you because you left an imprint deeper than most. So when he brings up old memories, don't take it lightly. It's not just him reminiscing, it's him confessing, without saying it directly, that those moments still live in him because he still misses you. He'll check on you through other people when a man misses you, but doesn't have the courage to come directly. He'll find another way. Pride may keep his mouth shut. Fear may hold his fingers back from texting you. But his heart won't let him sit in silence forever. That's when he starts asking around. He'll call a mutual friend. He'll slide into a family member's conversation. He'll casually bring your name up to someone who knows you. To you, it may feel indirect, but to him, it's the safest way to satisfy the ache without swallowing all his pride. That's the thing about missing someone. It makes you curious. He wants to know if you're okay, if you've moved on, if you're still smiling the way you used to. But instead of asking you, he'll ask about you. And the people he asks might not even tell you at first, but eventually word gets back. Because when someone can't stop bringing up your name, it doesn't stay a secret for long. The universe has a way of making sure you hear it. Think about it. People don't go out of their way to check on folks they don't care about. If you were really gone from his heart, he wouldn't spend his time fishing for updates. The fact that he's looking for information means you're still living in his thoughts. He'll ask little questions, the kind that seem casual but are loaded with meaning. How's she been? Is she seeing anybody? Does she ever talk about me? Those aren't surface-level questions. Those are heart-level questions. And sometimes he won't even ask directly. He'll just linger in conversations, waiting for your name to come up. He'll listen closely when people mention you, holding on to every detail like it's oxygen. That's missing you, plain and simple. Even if he tries to play it cool, the effort shows. Nobody chases information about somebody they don't miss. That effort is a slip-up, proof that he's still connected even if he's not brave enough to show it to your face. And it's not just about curiosity. It's about reassurance. He wants to know if you're happy without him, if you're doing fine, or if maybe you still feel the same way he does. That reassurance helps him carry the weight of missing you. Some men will even go further. They'll make excuses to be around people you know, just so they can feel closer to your world. That's not coincidence. That's longing disguised as casual friendship. And when you do hear that he's been asking, don't ignore what it means. That's not just gossip, it's his way of reaching for you without reaching directly. It's his pride fighting against his heart, and his heart slipping through anyway. Because missing you doesn't just sit quietly. It searches, it looks for signs of you. It finds ways to connect, even if indirectly. That's why his questions through others carry more weight than they seem to. Sometimes he'll even test the waters. He'll ask about you to see if you've mentioned him, to see if you're still open. That's his way of trying to protect himself from rejection while still feeding his need to know. And no matter how much he tries to hide it, people notice. They can tell when someone's name is asked with extra weight. They can tell when curiosity is fueled by care. His effort to keep tabs on you won't go unnoticed. So when you hear that he's been checking on you through other people, understand what it means. That's not just conversation. That's confession. That's his heart admitting what his pride won't let his mouth say. I still miss her. His energy will change around you. Energy never lies. A man can hide behind words. He can mask his tone. He can even fake a smile. But his energy will always tell the truth. And when he misses you, that truth shows up the moment he's around you. You'll feel it before he says a word. The room shifts, his posture shifts, his eyes linger longer than they should. That's not coincidence. That's the pull of missing you spilling out through his body language. He might act like everything's normal, but you'll notice the little things. The way his voice softens when he speaks to you, the way he laughs harder at your jokes, the way his presence feels heavier, like he's fully tuned in to only you. Missing you makes him hyper, aware. He notices things he might have overlooked before. He'll watch the way you move, the way you carry yourself, the way your mood flows. That attention is his energy betraying what's really going on inside. And here's the truth. You can't fake genuine energy. You can fake interest for a while, but when someone misses you, their whole presence gives them away. Their nerves, their excitement, their hesitation. All of it comes out. He may stumble over his words. He may fidget when you're near. He may get quiet because his emotions are louder than his confidence. That's not just shyness. That's missing you overwhelming his pride. Other times, his energy will swing the other way. He may act overly confident, overly loud, trying too hard to cover up what he feels. But even then, the energy behind it is shaky. You'll know he's putting on a show. Missing you makes it hard for him to act natural. Because natural is longing, natural is wanting to reach out, to touch, to connect. So instead, he battles himself, and that battle shows up in his aura. Pay close attention to eye contact. A man who misses you can't hold it too long, but he also can't look away. His eyes will flicker between pride and vulnerability. That's energy revealing what he can't verbalize. You'll also notice it in the pauses, the silence that hangs just a little too long, the moments where it feels like he wants to say something but holds back. That hesitation is energy, raw and unfiltered, and the truth is, his energy around you will be different than around anyone else. You'll see him more relaxed with others, but tense or alive around you. That contrast is the confession his words won't make. Sometimes you'll feel his energy even when he's not speaking to you directly. His presence in the room will pull your attention. His movements will seem synced with yours. That's missing you creating an invisible connection. And when a man misses you deeply, that energy is magnetic. He might try to hide it, but it will draw him toward you, closer in conversation, closer in space, closer in spirit. That pull is undeniable. Understand this. People can lie with words, but energy is pure. His energy changing around you is the clearest signal that missing you is taking a toll. It's the one thing he can't fully control. So when his energy feels different, when it feels charged, when it feels heavy, when it feels alive, you already know the truth. That's not just a vibe, that's a confession. That's him silently saying, I miss you more than I can admit. He'll do things to get your attention when a man misses you. He can't stand the thought of being invisible to you. He needs you to notice him. Even if he won't say it out loud, he'll start doing little things, sometimes big things, just to pull your eyes back in his direction. It might start small. He'll suddenly start posting more online, showing off what he's doing, where he's going, who he's with. He's not just posting for the world. He's posting for you, hoping you'll see it, hoping you'll feel something, and you'll notice the timing. He'll pop up right after you've been active, or right after you've been quiet. That's not random. That's intentional. That's him slipping, trying to trigger your attention. Sometimes it won't even be online. It'll be in real life. He'll dress differently when he knows you might see him. He'll act louder in the room when you walk in. He'll suddenly crack more jokes, speak more confidently, because missing you made him crave your validation. That's the thing about attention. When a man really misses you, he can't live without it. Even if he has everyone else's eyes on him, it won't matter if he doesn't have yours. That's why he'll slip up and do things designed to pull you back in. He might start talking about achievements he never mentioned before. He'll slip in little updates about his life, hoping you'll see how much he's grown, how much he's changed. That's his way of saying, look at me now, don't forget me. Sometimes it's more subtle. He'll accidentally, like one of your old pictures, he'll randomly comment on something small. He might not say a word directly, but those little digital breadcrumbs are his way of reaching. And the funny thing is, he doesn't always realize he's doing it. Missing you makes him restless. It makes him search for ways to feel seen by you. Those little actions are unconscious slips of the heart. Pay attention to the patterns. If he keeps popping up when he never used to, if he keeps reacting to your life in ways he didn't before, that's not just coincidence. That's him craving your notice. And sometimes it's not about impressing you with what he's done. It's about reminding you of what you had. He'll replay songs you both loved, share quotes that connect to your story, or drop hints tied to your history. That's him waving a flag, hoping you'll catch it. Missing you makes him competitive in silence. He wants to stand out in your world again. He wants to be the one who makes you stop scrolling, the one who makes you stop thinking about somebody else. That silent competition fuels his actions, and here's the truth attention. Seeking isn't always negative. Sometimes it's a cry for connection. Sometimes it's his way of saying, I still care. without putting himself at risk of rejection. That's why he slips up and tries so hard. Because deep down he knows if you're noticing him, then maybe you're still thinking about him too. And that possibility keeps him moving. Even if he denies it, even if he shrugs it off, those actions speak louder than his excuses. A man who doesn't care doesn't try. A man who isn't missing you doesn't go out of his way to get noticed. So when you see him suddenly fighting for your attention, whether subtle or bold, understand it for what it is. That's not random behavior. That's his heart reaching for you, because missing you became too heavy to keep hidden. He'll apologize or try to make things right when a man really misses you. Eventually the weight of his pride starts to crack. He'll replay the past in his mind. Every mistake, every word he shouldn't have said, every action that pushed you away. That reflection makes him realize something powerful. If he wants you back in his life, he's got to own up. Missing you will humble him. Pride can keep a man quiet for a while, but missing you will eat through that pride like fire through paper. And when that happens, you'll see him soften in ways you never thought he could. He may not come with a grand speech at first. Sometimes it starts with something simple like, "Hey, I've been thinking about you." That's not just small talk. That's the doorway to apology. That's his way of testing if you'll let him in to make things right. And when a man is serious, you'll know it. He won't just say sorry to check a box. He'll explain. He'll admit. He'll acknowledge the pain he caused. Because missing you taught him that avoiding accountability only cost him more of you. See, when he truly misses you, he doesn't just miss the good times. He feels the guilt of the bad ones, and that guilt turns into a need for reconciliation. It's no longer about ego. It's about healing what he broke. Some men will circle around the apology. They'll try to show it before they say it. They'll start being more consistent, more respectful, more attentive. That's their way of saying, "I'm sorry," with action instead of words. But eventually, words will have to follow. And when he finally admits his wrongs, that's the biggest slip of all. Because a man who misses you but doesn't care enough won't bother apologizing. He'll just move on. A man who truly misses you will risk his pride to fix it. Pay attention to how he frames his apology. If he's genuine, he won't just focus on how he feels, he'll focus on how you felt. He'll acknowledge your side, your hurt, your sacrifice. That's the sign his missing you matured into growth. He may even surprise you with timing. Out of the blue, when you've long stopped expecting it, he'll send that message, make that call, or show up with those words you thought you'd never hear. "I'm sorry. I should have done better." And when that moment comes, you'll see the power of missing someone unfold. Because missing you isn't just about loneliness. It's about realizing the value of what he lost. An apology is his attempt to recover it. Not every apology is meant to get you back. Sometimes he'll apologize just to release himself from guilt. But when he's missing you deeply, the apology will always carry a silent hope that forgiveness might open a door again. You'll notice it in his tone. He won't be defensive. He won't rush. He'll carry a weight in his words because he knows he's not entitled to your forgiveness. He's asking for it. That humility is the mark of real regret. Missing you forces him to grow up. It teaches him that love isn't guaranteed, that respect, consistency, and honesty are the price of keeping someone good, and his apology becomes the proof that he's learning that lesson. Understand this. Men don't apologize easily, but when missing you becomes too heavy, even the most stubborn man will cave, because the pain of losing you outweighs the pride of silence. So when he finally apologizes, when he admits he was wrong, when he takes responsibility, when he seeks to make things right, you can be certain of one thing. That's not just a slip up. That's his soul confessing, "I miss you too much to let this stay broken." If he misses you, he'll slip up and do this, ladies. Let me leave you with this. When a man truly misses you, you won't have to question it. You won't have to decode every word, second, guess every action, or chase him for clarity. His slip-ups will reveal the truth. His heart will leak through the cracks of his pride. A man can pretend for a while. He can act tough, silent, or distant. But missing someone isn't something you can hide forever. It shows up in late night calls. It shows up in accidental likes. It shows up in familiar songs, unexpected apologies, and moments where he just can't help but reach for you. Understand this. A man who doesn't miss you won't make the effort. He won't slip up. He'll stay silent. He'll stay gone. But a man who does, he'll stumble into your world in ways that give him away. And when he does, you'll know it's not by accident. But here's the part I need you to hear. Just because he misses you doesn't mean you have to take him back. Missing you is his reality, not your responsibility. His slip-ups might show his heart, but it's up to you to decide if his actions match what you deserve. Your worth isn't proven by whether or not a man misses you. It's proven by how you carry yourself when he does. Don't confuse longing with change. Don't mistake missing you for deserving you, because a man can miss you deeply and still not be ready to love you properly. So yes, if he misses you, he'll slip up and do all these things we've talked about. But the question isn't just will he miss you. The question is what will you do when he does? Will you let the memory of his absence define you? Or will you stand tall, knowing that being missed is proof of your value, but not the price of your peace? You've got to remember, you're not just somebody to be longed for. You're somebody to be honored. Missing you may bring him back to your door, but respect, consistency, and love are what qualify him to stay. So when those slip-ups come, don't just look at what he says. Look at what he's ready to do, because the real measure of a man isn't in the missing. It's in the mending, and if he can't mend what he broke, then his missing you will be nothing more than his own regret. But if he's willing to change, willing to grow, willing to build with you, then that slip-up wasn't just a mistake. It was the start of his transformation. Hold your head high, know your worth. Don't let being missed be the thing that defines your destiny. You are the prize, and if he can't rise to the standard, let him miss you from a distance, because sometimes the best thing you can give a man who misses you is the chance to miss you forever.